So again, welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us. My name is Becca Melnick. I am the Associate Director of Admissions here at the Yale School of Public Health. I recognize many of your names. I know you've been on events all throughout the week. Welcome to everyone joining us. And today's session is focused on the Career Management Center. This is specifically directed for the Executive MPH program. We wanted to give you an introduction into our career management team, the services they offer, kind of how you may interact with them throughout your time in the program. So I'm joined today by Felicia Spencer and Kelly Shea, who are our wonderful careers team. And also with us are Martin Klein and Heather Daly, who most of you have also met throughout the last week or so, who work with our Executive MPH program specifically. So with that, I'll turn it over to Felicia and Kelly.
All right, thank you so much, Becca, and thank you, Marty, for giving us this opportunity. Really, this will be sort of a brief overview of the types of resources and services that you can expect within our program. The goal is to keep this pretty short and just really open up a lot of the time to your questions, because we know this is sort of a busy time of year for you, and it's an important decision. So we really just want to address any of your questions. So the things that we hope to go over today is, again, introduce you to the support team in the Career Management Center, the resources available, and also ways that you can engage not just with the career office with your own career planning, but with the larger university as well. So basically, the career team at the School of Public Health is myself and Kelly. And Lori Klein as well, who's our sort of administrative assistant, but it's mostly Kelly and I. We do soup to nuts. So we do programming, we do the coaching and advising piece. So again, we work in a very team-based model. We pride ourselves on being extremely student-focused, in the sense that you'll never have to wait long for an advising appointment. We are very receptive to our students. We love the part of our job that allows us to develop relationships with our students, if that's what you want. And we really view the whole trajectory of the time from admissions to the time of your here Yale and to your beyond, sort of as one continuous loop. And we do stay in touch with a lot of our alums. So anyway, a little bit about our sort of philosophy and how we operate that office. I think what a lot of students appreciate is that there is not an institutional feel to the way we run our career office. So now we're going to talk a little bit, we're going to share a little bit of employment outcomes data. This is from 2020, and it's from the overview of the MPH class. We don't have data, obviously, for the Executive MPH program, because this will be the inaugural program. But I think this gives you an overview of sort of the type of organizations. And one thing that we mention all the time to students is really the diversity of organizations that we have recruiting relationships with and where our students go. We thought originally Kelly and I would pull data from our advanced professional program, thinking that might be instructional for you guys. But most of the AP folks, even though they're mid-career, go back to clinical practice. So we decided to share this data instead. Up on the website, on our Tableau charts, take a deeper dive into all this data. We're happy to sort of guide you on where to find data for particular programs as well. But again, this was just like a little bird's eye view that we wanted to share. Kelly's going to talk now a little bit about the process for sort of finding opportunities and the resources that we have.
Hi. Okay. Yes. Thanks. So I'm really sorry. I have my toddler is broke into my room. So so a couple of things. And again, I know that your resources will be a little bit different in your experiences, but the advising and coaching, like Felicia said, is Felicia.
Do you need me to take over?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Give me 1 second.
Okay, so I'll continue until Kelly sticks her kid in a closet. So again, we sort of mentioned the advising and the coaching piece. Handshake. We also have a career management platform called Handshake, and that is where we basically post our position. Kelly can share data on how many internships and full-time and jobs that we have within the system, and per academic year, it's over 1,000. So
Yeah, so
again,
I'm jumping back in. So yeah, with Handshake, we have over 1,000 things usually active at one time. They're completely.
you're on mute, Kel.
I'm Felicia. Keep.
Okay, so yeah, so at Handshake, again, we have a variety of positions for early career people as well as mid-career. So Handshake is a platform that all of our students are introduced to at the very beginning during orientation. We send out a weekly newsletter called Career Talk. It comes into your inbox every Friday morning. That's really one of our main vehicles for communicating with students. Obviously, we don't have you in a class every week, so that's a newsletter. It's very text light, and we really just try and push out anything of interest, career related, to the MPH population. Another thing that we try and do, and we'll talk a little bit more about in this session, is connecting you with alumni, especially at the stage that most of you in the executive MPH program are. My assumption is that one of the things you're looking at from this program is to develop some alumni connections, and we help do that not just again within YSPH, but within the larger Yale community. Faculty additionally are a really great resource, and we help facilitate that as well. And we do have a mentorship program for any MPH student who's interested. Okay, so this is again just a little bit more about Handshake. Not going to go into a lot of detail here, but this is where sort of as a student, you would not just search for jobs, but fellowship opportunities. We have a sort of a resource library, as well as it's the way you would make advising appointments as well. A little bit about, again, Career Talk. This is sent out every week, and it's just deadlines, events, and reminders of events and workshops, and job highlights. One of the things that challenges sort of being a student here is there's so much going on that it sometimes takes really good time management skills to sort of figure out, to sort of prioritize different opportunities. That's why we try and not flood your inbox, and really sort of distill our messages in sort of set resources and vehicles. So Career Talk is one of them. Okay, Becca, can you advance? Okay, great. So I spoke a little bit before about Alumni Connection. So we have this news platform called Cross Campus. It's Yale's online networking platform. It's a wonderful, wonderful resource to enable students and alums just to connect. So just wanted to bring that to your attention. And okay, so last but not least, a big part of your academic curriculum will be leadership and professional development. And I just wanted to highlight sort of the role that we play in skills building, professional skills building. We do have a mandatory program called the Professional Skills Series. It's mandatory for our MPH students that focuses a little bit more on those critical competency, communications competencies, especially for early career professionals. The things that would be relevant for people at your professional level are again, the communication skills building, because we do a lot of one-on-one coaching, just for public speaking, presentation skills, and even our students with substantial work experience find those really, really helpful. We do the resume and cover letter creation, interviewing, networking, negotiation, and just a general career exploration, especially for those of you who might fall into the category of wanting to sort of pivot from one field to another. So again, just wanted to bring this to your attention. This is not mandatory for your group, but it will be a resource that will be available to you. And you'll be able to find out about that again through sort of Career Talk and the communication that comes out from my office.
And the one thing I'm here for a second to jump
Yes.
in is potentially, if anyone's interested, we sometimes utilize our advanced professionals and maybe even some of you to help contribute to some of these events, because if you have some work experience, that would be a really great resource. So, you know, we'd love to get you involved, whether you want to participate or even contribute as well.
Right. And there are lots of different ways sort of to engage with your peers. And one of the ways that we have engaged sort of our mid-career professionals is for speed interviewing, as well as panel discussions. So that's something to keep in mind as well. And that's basically it. We just really didn't want to take a deep dive and just wanted to give you an overview, basically have you meet the two of us, because we like to be very involved in our students' career process, and just open it up for questions. Feel free to reach out to me or to Kelly with any follow-up information, any information that you'd like to help you make this important decision. So thank you so much, and I'm happy to entertain any questions either via the chat, or if you want to unmute yourself and show the video.
Is it a quiet group? It's been a long day, right?
I'll jump in with a question.
Sure.
I'm curious if you, first off, this is very helpful, so thank you both. Do you anticipate hosting some career panels with industry folks throughout the course of the program?
Yes, we do that. We have a really robust program of programming throughout the year, and it's a combination of panels. We do a lot of what we call information recruitment sessions, companies that come to campus, you know, with healthcare consulting, CVS, Deloitte. So we have ongoing recruiting relationships, and these companies either come to campus. This year it was actually, we pivoted virtually. It worked really well. And we put a lot of panels together. We work closely also with our Alumni Affairs office. So we put together panels of alums as well, who represent different industries. In addition, pre-COVID, we did career treks. So we did a career trek to New York, to Washington, DC, and as well as Boston. So we try and really sort of help you connect, make those industry connections. And I'm using industry very broadly. That covers sort of everything.
Great, thank you.
Yep, yep. Anybody else? Any question that we can answer sort of that helps you make your decision? Marty, you're muted.
Thank you. The professional skills series, I assume that for the fall and last spring that, you know, these were online by necessity. Moving forward, will you be recording those so that the executive MPH students can access the most current ones?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yes, and so we're rethinking our sort of business model in general, not just for professional skills. So, you know, there's some skills building, especially for early careers, that really face-to-face in person is brings better value, obviously, especially sort of the public speaking piece. But we've been able to pivot and still, you know, I think students really benefited a lot. There are certain things that we will be, so we're going forward, probably doing sort of a hybrid programming as well. A lot of companies just really liked doing virtual information sessions.
Right.
So yeah, but we didn't, you know, this year, even with COVID, we sort of had a very sort of robust recruitment season. Companies just did their stuff. They don't want to lose touch with a good student population. So they made sure that they just did information sessions. Like CVS, for example, we usually do, they usually came to campus once or twice. They had 5 sessions. They did it virtually. So it sort of gives them greater flexibility and in a way, greater visibility as well. So I think that's definitely a trend that I think is going to continue.
Thank you.
So we have a question from Ronaldo. Can you speak more about development of connections with the entire Yale alumni? Wait a minute. In terms of exploring careers and related options, sure, and that's a great question. So we understand the value of those alumni connections, and Yale has a really deep and robust database of alumni. So there's a lot of things that we do. I mentioned the career treks. That's all sort of alumni driven. So the places that we visit are usually because we have some alumni connection. We focus a lot on community building when students are here. And so they, translate into loyal alums. And so a lot of our leads about jobs and opportunities come from alumni coming back to us. We have that cross-campus system, which is our database. It's an opt-in system. So that's another way of making that connection. We bring alums back to campus all the time for panel discussions. And then we also have a mentor program. That's all our it's an alumni mentor program, which any student can join. And so you're basically matched with 2 alums whose interests might align with yours. Did I answer your question? Because I could go on and on about that one, Ronaldo. I guess I did. Okay. Anybody else? So I would also love, okay, we did get Jeffrey sent a question. Okay. If we can swing it, would we be able to come to campus for some of these networking events if we are looking to pivot careers? Absolutely, absolutely. And so what I would also, again, because this is a new program, and I'm very eager to make sure that we address your needs. This is very different than anything we've ever done. Everybody's been on campus. So everything that we do, all the programming that we do going forward is going to also be seen through the lens of the executive MPH population. So how can we take the programming and make sure that it's either recorded or available or the context are shared? I don't have the answer exactly yet, but we're very cognizant of it. And Kelly and I are very flexible and we're able to pivot and we're creative. So we'll make sure that it happens.
And we have one more question. Could we elaborate a little bit further on the mentorship program? So I can kind of jump in and we can, do it together. It is, like Felicia had said, it's run by the alumni office, and it is an opt-in where a lot of MPH alums, if they want to serve as a mentor, sign up, and there's an open period where you can pick a mentor or 2. And this can be a really valuable experience if the mentor and the mentee are open to communication. And it's a great way just to find someone who is working in whatever sector or industry you're thinking about, and can be a very helpful resource, or it can just be a touch point. So it's really kind of what students and mentors can make of it, but students find it very, very valuable. Anything else to add, Felicia?
No, I think that's, again, it's a great resource. You're not limited, sort of, you can pick, it runs the course of your MPH program. So it's not like you do it once. I mean, every academic year it reboots. I think that's one thing also we sort of do really well is facilitate a lot of those alumni connections. And there's lots of opportunities to do that. Anybody else? So Kelly and I will stay on for a little bit more. Feel free to reach out to us. Again, Becca has our contact information, but mine is felicia.spencer@yale.edu.
Am I?
Put it in the
Kelly
chat.
dot J.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can put it in the chat.
Yes, Kelly will put it in the chat. And again, feel free to reach out to us if as you're investigating and researching other programs and you want to know whether we do something, because I'm sure we left something out. It's hard to distill in a nutshell, sort of everything we do. But we also encourage you to take a look at sort of the employment outcomes data that we have up on our website, because that will give you an idea of a lot of the organizations that we have relationships with.
Well, thank you so much, Felicia and Kelly. We really appreciate your time.
Our pleasure. It was nice to meet
information.
everybody.
And thank you again, everyone, for joining. We hope it was helpful, and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow for our last open house session and in the future. And as always, do not hesitate to reach out with any other questions.